I think people need to come together over a cup of coffee, over something simple. Coffee and common sense.
I'm doing coffee and common sense from a very nice lady who works at Dewdrop Inn.
You don't have to fight to have a debate.
That's part of a video pitch from the Coffee Party USA, which is holding its first ever National Coffee Party Day tomorrow at hundreds of coffee shops across the country. The Coffee Party got its start last month when documentary filmmaker Annabelle Park decided she'd had enough of all the hollering in politics, especially the Tea Party hollering. So she posted the Facebook status update heard round the world. Quote, "Let's start a coffee party, smoothie party, Red Bull party, anything but tea, geez. Ooh, how about cappuccino party? That would really make them mad because it sounds elitist. Let's get together and drink cappuccino and have real political dialogue with substance and compassion." When Annabelle Park's idea really picked up steam, they did decide to go with calling it the Coffee Party. People loved that Facebook update so much that Annabelle Park the next day started a Facebook page. It's grown to have more than 120,000 members. And that page grew into a new website that got 600,000 page views in its first week. And all those clicks seem like they might be turning into maybe a movement. The working slogan is "Wake up and stand up." But stand up for what exactly? The Tea Party movement on the right doesn't always seem to have an agenda that makes sense, but we've heard from them how mad they are about communism and the fascism and the czars and stuff, and the president secretly being foreign. Whatever they're mad about, they're definitely mad. In contrast, here's what the Coffee Party says about their first ever National Coffee Party Day tomorrow. The Coffee Party says they have no pre-existing ideology. They just want folks to get together. Get together tomorrow with your friends and neighbors within this idea of the coffee party, and without hollering, agree to name an issue that you think is important. Then you politely agree to write the name of your issue on a sign, and you have to be willing to stand by the sign.
And you have to come to a consensus. You have to create a sign that all of you would be willing to stand by. If you have 60 people there, don't try to have 60 people agree on what to put on a poster. What'll happen then is some people won't get a chance to speak and some people walk away feeling silenced. So break into groups of 5 or 6.
Because 5 or 6 may be as many people as you can get to agree on anything in this country right now. I like polite very much, but I am worried that this organizing idea is maybe going to produce a lot of little cliquish coffee clatches rather than a big coffee party. Joining us now to politely discuss those worries with me, talk about the whole coffee party idea, is Annabelle Park. Ms. Park, congratulations on your success so far, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me, Rachel.
So can you explain, both to me and to everybody who's curious about the coffee party, what's going to happen tomorrow?
Well, we're going to come together as a community. We're going to sign a civility pledge. And basically, we're going to leave our party affiliation at the door and meet each other as human beings, as individuals, fellow Americans, and see if we can come to a consensus and work on collaborating together.
And the idea of naming an issue, is it naming a proposed solution to an issue, or is it just picking an issue that you think is important?
Well, just for tomorrow, this is really the first step, right? Because it's really about community building and practicing democracy. And we believe that the first step in the democratic process is having an open dialogue. So tomorrow is really about that open dialogue. And next step we're going to take is deliberation. So next time we meet, it's going to be a little bit more about decision making. And then further down the road, we are going to take collective action together. Okay. So it's about taking the practice of democracy and basically showing our government this is what cooperation should look like.
So this is sort of almost a trust-building exercise, an effort to say, listen, that we can at least agree that the process ought to be civil, that we ought to respect one another and come together in calm discussion. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there are 3 things about the coffee party. There's a need for civility. There's a need for cooperation in government. And it's also about affirming the American community, that we don't have to be so divided over our differences of opinion.
Let me give you a case study. I think this is a fascinating idea, and so many people have asked me what I think about it and what they ought to think about it, and I think people are excited by this. But let me give you a case study. I did an interview about a year ago with Senator Ben Nelson about the stimulus, and Senator Nelson argued to me that we needed the stimulus to be as efficient and effective as possible. And he said school construction was one of the single most purely efficient economically stimulative things that you could ever do. He also then said he wanted less school construction in the stimulus bill. And I was flabbergasted. And to me, the moral of the story was that sort of meeting Ben Nelson in the middle and cooperating with him on that one would be a bad thing to do because his argument was wrong. It wasn't even internally consistent. Is it, or would it be un-coffee party-ish to call Ben Nelson wrong on that? To say, no, you can't participate in these talks. We're not meeting you halfway. You don't make sense.
Yeah, I think that's in keeping with what we want. We want real representation. We want people to be, sincere in their efforts to represent us. So, I mean, at this point, we're actually quite critical of the current government, especially in Congress.
Annabelle Park, founder of the Coffee Party. Good luck with tomorrow's event. For my worry about the coffee clatch thing, you have assuaged my worry. It seems like you're leaving it open in order to let people decide their own direction here.
Right. Well, we'll get back to you, Rachel. I think you're going to be pleased.
Good. I really look forward to it. Thank you, Annabelle. Okay. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, from the political metaphor of coffee to cheese, not as a metaphor for anything, not who moved the cheese stands alone, blah, 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 just actual cheese. Really important news about cheese. Cheese and sports. Cheese sports. Next.